Hello everyone, and welcome to the second game of the week. This is going to be a matchup between Nicov and Laaaaan. In the bottom, we have we have Nicov playing as the Byzantines. In the top, we have Laaaaan playing as the Mayans. Really love this matchup. I've seen Byzantines and Mayans quite a few times. Mayans are like that S-tier civilization. Really great civilization on a lot of maps. And how can you argue with their bonuses? I'm looking at the wrong player, of course. How can you argue with their bonuses? Great economy bonus starting with one extra villager. That's great right off the bat. As if that wasn't strong enough, all their resources last 15% longer, so they get 15% more sheep. Their wood lines last longer, they get 15% more gold and stone, and all of that's great. Their boars are 15%, they have 15% more boar. So great economy. They also have access to one of the strongest units in the game, general units. The Eagle Warrior, one of the strongest unique units, the Plumed Archer, and the most common unit, the Archer and the Crossbow, are all cheaper for the Mayans. So all great bonuses, and they wall cheaper. So how do you argue with that? Most civilizations can't stack up to the Mayans, but the Byzantines might be one of them. The Byzantines are they're a pretty balanced civilization, let's put it that way. They have some strengths, they have some weaknesses. I did do a strategy guide on the Byzantines. I always point that out because I really love that video on my channel. You could always check out my channel at any time. There's my plug. But the Byzantines have a pretty decent time against the Mayans, actually. Something about their civ matchup. Maybe it's that their skirmishers are cheaper. Maybe it's that their cataphracts can handle the Eagle Warriors of the Mayans. Maybe it's the hand cannons can be built faster since the Byzantines advanced the Imperial Age faster, because their Imperial Age is cheaper. Who knows? Maybe it's the Town Watch upgrade or the Building HP upgrade. But the Byzantines, for whatever reason, seem to handle the Mayans pretty okay. I'm not going to say they have an advantage because the Mayans are so strong, but they should have a good shot. So I really would hope this game illustrates that. And let's take a look at the map as well, because that's also important. Nicov can wall here, wall there, and the only problem area, you can wall here, only problem area of his map is going to be walling here, because that's going to be a big wall if he chooses to complete it. That could be a problem. Interestingly, have the golden and berry bush here. I think this map looks more like Green Arabia than it does a standard Arabia kind of map, because there's so much wood lines and that kind of thing. So definitely a very unusual kind of Arabia map from what I've seen. Taking a look at Laaan's map, Laaaaan has his gold in a very odd position. I'm not sure where you're going to have to place a mining camp there, but with the hill, it makes it very awkward. What? What? Most of the stuff that I cast in the Dark Age is pretty automatic. With that said, let's increase the speed just a little bit. But yeah, there's not going to be... Oh, there it is. Oh, shoot. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. I thought he didn't build a lumber camp this game. Oh, there's one thing I have to do. Let me alt tab. There's one thing you have to do. You have to turn the fog of war off. Otherwise things render like that. That is the reason for that. Okay. The lumber camp was invisible for a second. Okay. I thought it wasn't built. Man, I thought we were going to see something very interesting here, but no, it's just a small bug with Capture Age. Alright, here comes the barracks for Laaaaan. Looks like we're going to see a Dark Age rush or a Men-at-Arms rush. Time? Where's the time? Okay, so this is going to be a Men-at-Arms rush, probably. Nicov going to go for a fast feudal, and he is going to go for the patented, one of my favorite strategies in all of Age of Empires, is the Byzantines forward. It is incredible. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of forwards anymore in Age of Empires due to the way the meta has shifted. It's favored Men-at-Arms and towers, which counters the strategy pretty heavily. But this is going to be good. Nicov is going to go for the Byzantine forward. If you like forwards, by the way, watch the player Black Mamba. I have a few... I have one game on my channel, one game, with this player. But he loves to forward all the time, even in today's meta. And this is going to be great. We're going to see 2 archery ranges, or maybe 1, from Nicov coming up. He is up on an extremely early time, 19 pop. I never forward off that time, but times have changed. Going to build that archery range right away. And he's going to build skirmishers. And the great thing about a forward is you're able to pressure your opponent, and the best way to counter a forward is usually with skirmishers of your own. Byzantines, of course, get cheaper skirmishers and spearmen. The other best way to counter a forward is with men-at-arms. And that men-at-arms upgrade is not in quite yet, but here it comes. And this is high stakes, man. This can go either way, and it's going to go either way in a hurry. And so far, 5 villagers versus 4 villagers. This is not going to be a win for Nicov. I would abandon that tower. Let's see if it gets up. Going up pretty fast, actually. And I would have abandoned that tower. You're going to lose a villager for it. Here we go. Well, the tower is up. Some of these villagers are pretty weak. I don't think that was worth it, to be quite honest. I thought I should have abandoned that one. Gotta be careful here. Don't want to go into the town center. But mission might already be accomplished for Nicov. He's taken away the main gold of Laaaaan. And unless Laaaaan is going to add some Eagle Warriors or some more men-at-arms, this mass of skirmishers and spearmen is only going to get scarier and scarier. Actually, Laaaaan does have a gold in the back, so that is not good for Nicov. Fletching coming in right away for Nicov. That'll make sure the skirmishers can handle the men-at-arms. I do worry about Eagle Warrior for the Mayans, though. And that's an okay fight for either player. No more men-at-arms for Laaaaan. What is Laaaaan doing right now? Where's his resources going into? He built the 2 mining camps. I assume that's it. Whereas Nicov is only building his first mining camp now. Gonna build some farms in the back. Maybe this tower threatens a few of them. And no berries for Laaaaan. That's also important. So that tower did deny the berries, at least temporarily. And I think Laaaan's economy is hurting because of that. I don't see any other military units, any other military buildings from Laaaaan because of this investment into the mill, the 2 mining camps, and then having to build more farms because the berries have not been utilized. And Nicov is actually going to mine that gold. So I think mission accomplished for Nicov. I don't see him getting inside these walls any longer. I think if you're either player, get your eco upgrades, farm up, and head to the Castle Age. And Nicov is going to mine a little bit of stone, because I'm sure he wants a tower on this gold. These villagers are very weak. Help solidify that position. Maybe a tower here would be great too. So stone is definitely the way to go for Nicov. As far as the economy goes, we're on about even villager numbers. Both players did get their bit axe upgrades. Nikov's now getting his horse collar upgrade. Like a tower. Tower from Laaaaan. I think that's a good tower. Might be a good tower. I think so. It'll keep these archers out. Gonna try to force drop that. And that village is pretty weak. But she's gonna get away. A pretty good tower for Laaaaan if you want to protect this area. However, the tower is coming up from Nicov in this perfect position, and Laaaaan has enough stone for a counter tower, so he should be okay. Don't think he has Town Watch. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. There's his line of sight. So we can see this. This will be a proper defense. Once again, if I was Nicov, I would abandon this tower, maybe build it a little further back. But so far, Nicov has played this game exactly like you'd like to play it. This is the problem, however. The mines are so strong. In part because of the access to this Eagle Warrior upgrade. I think Eagles should destroy all trash. And look at this from Nicov. Gonna try to chop his way through. Let's go back to the Fog of War. Laaaaan can't see this right now. What the hell? Maybe place some palisades there? I don't know. I don't know why that was visible. But yeah, gonna place the gate there. And actually, once again, I think I was wrong about these 2 towers. This tower's not great because it will go down, but it does deny the wood line temporarily. And at this point, Laaaaan is hurting a lot for wood. So he's gonna have to build another lumber camp back there. So Nikov's done the eco damage. I have to mention that Nicov does have Wheelbearer and Horse Collar, but here comes 2 Eagles into the base. I don't think 2 Eagles can do a lot of damage, and should have waited for the 3rd Eagle. Unfortunately, they build so slowly. Just one more piece of Palisade needed, at least in this area. So there's that Palisade. Gonna have to wall here as well. And actually, the Eagles are trapped in. Look at this kind of box that Nicov has created. What a great play. Oh, man. That is huge. Nicov is in such a strong position. The Byzantines are absolutely dominating. Here comes a market. Both players are about ready to click up to the Castle Age. And somehow these units got in. How did that happen? And I think these Spearmen might be able to poke these Eagles enough to be able to do this. Yes, with Capture Age, you'll be seeing Capture Age from now on, as long as it remains free to use. Both players going into the Castle Age. Finally, Horse Collar for land. And this game, of course, is nowhere close to being over. Lan actually having the score lead. Lions are so strong. Because this whole time, remember, Lan has been benefiting from 2 eco bonuses. Having that extra villager early on, and then all the resources lasting longer. Whereas Nicov has benefited from 0 eco bonuses. So, eco bonuses are king in 1 versus 1 Arabia. And this is kind of interesting. We all know Lan is going to keep going Eagles because it's worked out so pretty well for him. Question is, does Nicov keep going with this army composition? The skirmishers make no sense. So got to discontinue those. And why would you go Spearmen against Eagles? And against a civilization that can't make knights? So that makes no sense. So what is Nicov going to do? Shit, man, he's going to go for Cataphracts. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that was intentional. Sometimes you take too much stone if you're mining stone already, but Cataphracts is the play. Cataphracts is the play, and there's the castle. And what was the weakness of Nikov's map? Remember, it was this area, and that castle is going to go in this area. This could be stonewalled later on. But yeah, Cataphracts, and if Lan wants to transition to... Well, it looks like he might transition to Plumed Archers. That would be strong against Cataphracts. But as of this moment, Nicov is 1 step ahead. That's okay, you can lose those Spearmen. Not a big deal. Here comes a few Cataphracts. Yeah, Cataphract hype. We don't see this often. This is very rare. It's very rare to see Cataphracts in 1 versus 1 Arabia. And even rarer to see them be effective. But this might be a situation where they're effective. And yeah, 2 counters to the Cataphract. 1 is going to be monks, 2 is going to be plumed archers. Lan is not ready to build that castle yet, so he's going to go with the monastery. So got to be careful, don't want to lose these. Cataphracts are very expensive. So monks will be very effective. But this is where the skirmishers can still play a role. The skirmishers still can kill the monks. And actually, Nicov might try to take down this monastery before a monk is able to get a conversion. He's got the skirmishers here to weaken up the monks if they pop out. Certainly the Eagles are not going to want to engage. Or are they? No, there's no way. Eagle Scouts against Cataphracts? There's no way. I think both players know how valuable these skirmishers are right now. So those Eagles wanted to get the skirmishers. But yeah, this monastery almost down to half health. I think Nicov should just keep pummeling away at that. Make Lan rebuild it. There comes the monk. Skirmishers are going to whittle it down a little bit. But he's going to get away. I would just take that thing down, man. You really want that down. And Nicov going back doesn't want to take the risk. I'm a little surprised. Just keep the skirmishers there. Keep the Cataphracts right there. Lan on the defensive, but he's gearing up for a castle. Right now, villager count is even. I think Lan has the extra town center. Just by looking at the mini-map. Yep, definitely has the extra town. Oh, no, he doesn't. They're clumped up together. 3 town centers right there. 5 villagers coming forward for Nicov. I think... What did he do? Oh, Nicov has enough stone for another castle. Oh, here we go. Big moment. Big moment. Nicov wants to keep this position. Laaaaan wants to take his gold back over. Laaaaan is running out of this main gold. This is a big point in this game. Where are the cataphracts? Where are the cataphracts? Come back. Come back. Here's those monks. I think... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought Nicov was going to lose that. Nicov is half a second too late. Maybe not half a second, but he's a little bit too late. But what you could do as Nicov is you can still... Maybe you could build the castle right there. Oh, man. Gonna lose a lot of HP on this cataphracts. One is going to get converted. Nikov's lost a lot of momentum. He's up to the Imperial Age. If you could just get a trebuchet onto this castle and have it protected, that might be the game. That's definitely the game, actually. That's hard. This castle won't protect a trebuchet. Actually, that's a market. My bad. Yeah, all about the timings. That could have been a little bit better timing for Nicov. Now Laaaan's still in this game. Laaaaan gets back his gold. We could see also plumed archers to counter the cataphracts. I guess that's why we see elite skirmisher. Nicov still has this castle. Where is he going to place this castle? He needs to take down the castles in the mines. I would... You have the army. You just don't have the army. You don't have the army to place the castle where you want it. You could place a defensive castle right there. Could place it here. Or here. I'm going to place it there in the middle so you can get a little bit closer to the castles of Laaaaan. Laaaaan will have a hill advantage. If this comes down to a Treb war. This could be a good trade. Cataphracts with +1 armor only. No husbandry. They're not going to catch up to these units too quickly. All about these monks. This is a close game. I don't know. I don't know. Laaaan's got his army composition going. He has the hills. We have a 6 villager advantage for Nicov. That's not that much. Should see 2 trebuchets coming out right away. Eagles are going to go back. Nice play from Nicov if he's going to collect some of these relics. I see he already has 1 in there. He has 2. He's going to have 3. Wow. That's very much needed. You need to take every bonus you can against the Mayans. And let's see. Conscription coming in first. I disagree with that. Where's the trebuchet? Where's the trebuchet, man? You need a trebuchet. Oh, that's great. Gonna put up the stone gate there. This castle's a goner. This castle's a goner, especially without any trebuchets. What are you doing, Laaaaan? Build some trebuchets. You have the resources. What are you saving up for? Oh, gonna save every little bit of resource for Elite Eagle Warrior. Doesn't need the trebuchet, it just needs Elite Eagle Warrior. And that's not gonna work out, because these trebuchets are gonna get walled in. And Nicov is pretty well defended at home. He's got a lot of walls. He needs to finish these. Always finish up your walls. Why are you giving up a castle for free? It's not that the trebuchets are too slow, it's that they're not being built at all. That makes no sense. What about the second castle? Are you going to build trebuchets for the second castle? I guess Nicov is going to try to defend with his army. And yeah, this is a problem. Can't build plumed archers and trebuchets at the same time. Yeah, I know hyperkinesia. I know. Man. Try casting sometime. Alright, these cataphracts should wreck. But they don't have any armor. They're still very... They're very Castle Age. They're very Castle Age-ish. But here we go, hand cannons. This is my recommendation, usually to Byzantine's players, is go for the hand cannon over the cataphract. In this case, I think both would be valuable. But definitely need that armor upgrade on the cataphracts. It's the one thing you need. This is not bad for Laaaaan. Just move forward a little bit, take out some production buildings. That'll be good. And I think you have the army to take the castle, though. I would go for the castle. This is a problem. Did Nicov finish off his walls? He didn't. This is just being lazy. You know eagles are on the field. You have to wall up your map. It's as simple as that. No matter what kind of position you're in, you need to wall your map. You need to stone wall there, and you need to stone wall there. It's easy. It'll cost you 100 stone, but it's easy. And things like that can win you games. And I think Laaaaan is going to get a monster raid. We have 115 villagers now for Nicov. We could say 120. Let's see how many kills Laaaaan is going to get. He's going to get a ton of kills. Take a look here. 54 villagers in this one screen. Unfortunately, the Eagles, they need iron casting. Iron casting would make it a lot easier to kill the villagers. That 11 attack is magic for villagers. 10 attack is weak. And look at all these villagers. They can't fit in there. Cataphracts are going to come back. Maybe they can clean up the Eagles. Get something good out of this. But remember, that was at 120. Now it's at 95. Trebuchets are 4. The Cataphracts are not here to defend. Let's see if the hand cannons can do the job. It's a lot of hand cannons. But we have 2 rams. We need the Cataphracts to clean up the rams. Don't lose the Cataphracts. Do not lose them. Hand cannon's going to go to work. There's 17 hand cannons. 2 trebuchets still remaining. Castle goes down for Laaaaan. Laaaan's selling a ton of resources because he can't get his gold. Everything is going to get cleaned up. Laaaaan cleaned that up. But now Laaaaan has no more castles. And I love being able to check the minimap and not having to look at a statistic for that. That is great. So Nicov took some heavy losses. Lost maybe 30 villagers. Assuming he was building villagers this whole time. Lost 30 villagers, lost a lot of army. Laaaaan also lost some army, lost his castle. And I like Nikov's position. I just don't lose the hand cannons. I think now you could play the long game against the Mayans. I think you could win it there. Because you have 2 castles already, you have a 3rd coming up. The Mayans have no castles. You could still pressure this gold. Play the long game if you're Nicov. Maybe keep adding Cataphracts. And actually, though, there is nothing to counter Cataphracts. The counter was Plumed Archers. Halbs don't really work too well. Laaaaan is actually probably going to go into Arbalest. And if you're Nicov, just take over map control, take over the extra resources, place town centers, place castles, whatever you have to do, and just keep pressuring this area. There's only 2 things you have to do. It's pretty simple. Don't need to raid in a million places. The Byzantines aren't good at that anyway. Just need to focus on 2 areas. The extra resources, keeping your base safe, and pushing on the front. And these hand cannons are so good. So good when you don't have to worry about archers. And now's the time. If Nicov can place a trebuchet on this hill, look at all the production buildings that'll go down. Overchop where? Don't see the overchop. That's dicey. Remember, again, Nicov having 3 relics. Yeah, there you go, 3 relics. That is going to help a lot. And if you're Laaaaan, I know it's risky, but you gotta saturate that gold. If the army comes in, so be it. Run your villagers back, but you gotta saturate that gold. Because you're hurting for gold. That's not enough villagers on gold. Gonna go out to this one. Nicov not doing a great job securing the extra resources. Does have a castle on the right side. That's kind of a whatever castle. Why don't you take over that gold? I know you don't need it, but come on. Certainly your opponent needs it. Oh, and blue raided a while ago. My bad. Alright, Nicov not being aggressive pretty much at all. Not taking over the extra resources. Still has his map open. I'm not liking these late game plays from Nicov. Look at Laaaaan. He's been massing up his army. Has had access to all these 3 golds, which are allowing him to build a decent army. And these Cataphracts, They have the armor, at least. But I think if you're Nicov, no point in fighting up this hill. I think Laan's army is now too big. Just focus on the extra resources. This will win you the game. Not right now, but it'll win you the game late game. Castle coming up on the left. Certainly Nicov has enough castles now. This stone might be important too. Pretty sure Laan's out of stone. I don't see any stone left. So yeah, this stone is very important. I think that might be Laan's second stone. Thanks, Lidicor bot. Appreciate it. Nicov getting foraging. This is a great game, though. Really enjoying this one. I don't know if Nicov can hold. Need to deny those extra resources. Laaan expanding to the left, expanding to the right. Who has more map control this game? It might be Laaan. Now Nikov's coming over. He's got the big upgrade. The big upgrade is Elite Cataphract. That's huge. That is one of the most expensive technologies in the game. And the reason it's that way is because once you get all the upgrades on the Cataphracts, there aren't a whole lot of units that counter them. Halbs don't counter them. Camels don't counter them. Archers do okay. Sure, they have a little less pierce armor, but come on, it's 150 HP. And not that many Arbalests. These Cataphracts might be able to smash the skirmishers. This is where those castles come in handy. Those eagles are not going to want to rake that gold. You can say, well, what is this from Nicov? No, wood is not important. Get the gold. At least he did raid up there. Villager count 140 to 120. Logistica, another extremely expensive upgrade. These Cataphracts are now fully upgraded, and they're being built from 4 castles. If you're a Byzantine's player and you've got fully upgraded Cataphracts being built from 4 castles and you got 140 villagers, I don't know how often you lose those kinds of games. Let's see if this is going to be one of them. Big army from Laaan. It's a big army, but just the quality of Cataphracts. The question is, do you have enough? Do you have enough Cataphracts right now? Being built from 4 castles. Boarding's just being made. These are ultra strong castles. I would say wait for the Rams to come in. These castles are so strong. Let the Rams come in. Let the army come in under the castle fire and then take a fight. But it might not be necessary. I think bide your time if you're Nicov. The more time you have, the more Cataphracts you can make. This is a superior unit. You're almost at 200 population. What's the relic count for each? I can actually use 4 castles. Okay. 4 relics for Nicov and 1 for Laaan. There we go. That is so convenient. And actually, though, Nikov's going to take this hill. Here comes those rams. Even though they're siege rams, these castles are not going to go down quickly. This is 8,000 HP. Mines, of course, don't get siege engineers. Give it some time. I think lure Laaan in. Even if you lose a castle, it's not a big deal. Because I think if you clean up the army, that's it. That's the game. If you lose a castle, it's not the game. And I... Get the castle to attack the Arbalest. The hand cannons are kind of over here on the left. Not a good position for Nicov. Half of his army's not attacking. Castle, of course, I think will stay up. It's going to be close. Might go down. It's going to stay up. For now. And I think that timing was good for Nicov, but half of his army was over here. Oh my god. What are you doing with the hand cannons? Use them! Oh man. Look at the map control for Laaan. How do you give up this map control? And I say give up because Nicov definitely gave this up. He had the army at one point and didn't go for these extra resources. And now look at this. Laaan building military production buildings at every corner of the map. Hate to say it, but kind of a throw. And I'm a little disappointed because we do see, again, how often do you lose a game when you're at 140 villagers with 4 castles, with all the elite cataphract upgrades. Doesn't happen often. But that said, you know, Nicov still might not lose it. He's got the higher quality army for sure. But this really worries me, this map control. Luckily, Nicov going with light cavalry, that'll help him to reestablish map control. Nicov with banks and just money vaults of resources. No, I wouldn't say that, Liverpool. I wouldn't say that, because you're at 200 population, and you've got a bank of resources. You start making skirmishers, you're going to lose the game. That's a great late game option, but if you've got 1,500 gold, and you're at 200 pop, and you're being pushed, now is not the time to conserve resources. Hand cannon's the stronger overall option. You got to go for that. But Hussar's done. That's a big upgrade. And you know what I'm missing? You know what I'm missing from Nikov's army? I'm missing Ram. We saw Siege Ram on Siege Ram action. That would be a big boost for Nicov, I think. So Nikov's got to somehow clean this up. If he had Ram, would be able to clean this up easy. Super easy. He'd be able to clean up this left side. Just cataphracts here, some Siege Rams. That would clean that up. And on the front, you're doing okay. Just rely on the strength of your castles in the front. And what's great is that Land can't even build a trebuchet. He doesn't have a castle. So Nicov, only way he's going to lose that castle is if Siege Rams come in. And there we go. There's that Siege Ram upgrade for Nicov. Close game, close game. Games are never this close in this late game. But this is a good one. Yep, that could be a big rating for us. And now the Siege Rams can clean things up. Alright. Alright, this looks a little dicey. As long as the Siege Rams go down, then Nicov will be good. But all the Hussars are dying. A lot of Siege Rams coming in. We have 1,000 HP left. Alright, you don't want to lose that castle. Gonna bring the villagers in. Mostly skirmisher. Yeah, gotta bring these back. Gotta take out the Siege Rams. Got 7 Siege Rams. Oh boy, gonna be close. I don't see the army here. I just don't see the army for Nicov. Cataphracts have to build faster. The army, the castle's going down. Now Nikov's running low on gold. He spent up all his gold. And the castle went down. This might be a game changer for Land. Land getting heavily raided? Not really. This area is kind of going down. This area is kind of going down. That's big for Nicov, getting some extra gold. Losing that castle wasn't the game, but if it's a sign of things to come, then it's a good sign for Land. Finally, that castle did its role, but Land getting on top of that gold really heavily. If Land can get a castle, it'll help solidify position, prevent raids. Could get some trebuchets out. Could see obsidian arrows, of course. I would ram down that mining camp. That's just me. This is not bad. I mean, Nikov's got the cheaper trash late game. These rams are doing work. Gotta protect them, though. Guild's coming in. So this area's done. Somehow Land's still taking this. You have Hussar. If you're Nicov and you have a Hussar, why aren't you raiding that gold? These units have been sitting here for the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I agree, Liverpool. I don't think he used those hand cannons pretty well earlier in the game. That was that fight could have been a lot better when that castle was being attacked and the hand cannons were over there. That was a big changing point in this game. We have a few rams out. How much gold is left on the map? Only 1,800. That's nothing at all. This is not bad. Nicov has re-established map control. At least on the sides, not really in the middle. But on the plus side, it's not like Laaaaan can raid Nicov. The only raiding unit that Laaaaan would have been plumed archers or eagles, and Laaaaan can't make either. So sure, you have this big mess kind of in the middle of the map, but what is it really doing? Not a whole lot. Here's that castle for Laaaaan. That can be deadly. And there you go, finally, Nicov raiding a little bit on the right. So, should clean that up. How much gold is left here? So, there's almost no gold there, so it's got to be 1,500 gold there. That could be the game. Gonna build a siege workshop there. 1,500 gold will afford you a lot of siege rams. And I think I'm gonna put my prediction out there. I think that Nicov wins this. Nicov, I think, has the superior army composition. Skirmishers and pikemen will be cheaper. Hussar is a strong unit against Meso Civs. These are not the best Hussars in the world, but they're still something. And Nicov has the map control and 1,500 extra gold to work with. Not to mention those 4 relics, of course. Those relics doing work. So I'm gonna put my guess out there. I think that Nicov is gonna win this. And man, this was a close game. Crop rotation is usually done pretty late because it's a little bit expensive, but it's a good upgrade late game. Very good. Man, what a game. What a game. Back and forth. Didn't know who was going to win it. Some crazy strategies from both players. Nicov going with that forward early in the game. Great to see that be effective. Eventually, Nicov did lose the map control. And eventually, Laaaaan did take over the middle of the map, but what did he do with it? Nothing really. Can't raid with it. Lost the edges of the map because it was so focused on the middle. And those edges had a lot of extra resources. I wish both players focused on that a little bit more this game. But oh well. I think this is going to be a win for Nicov. Down goes that castle. That castle was useless. Didn't even get obsidian arrows. What's happening on the left? Nothing's happening on the left. We have 25 stone left there. Enough for a castle if you're Nicov. Nicov gonna mine that, and now he's gonna raid with the Hussar. And he's got a siege ram busting this open. Laaaaan is forced here anyway because he's out of wood. And this is looking good. This has to be GG. Has to be GG, 100%. No comebacks incoming. What's happening on the top in Laaaan's base? Those holes. Those are holes. Yeah, those are holes. It's a hole now. That should be a big raid. 20 more villagers for Nicov. Byzantine's late game army at this point is superior. And I don't see any way Laaaan's gonna be able to take this over. Looks like 60% of the map belongs to Nicov. All the important extra resources, those extra relics. And Nicov might have a little bit of difficulty going up this hill because it is a hill. So I think Laaaaan can definitely stall for some time. Just hug the hill and keep pikemen over here. But this is not a winning condition for this game. Now, if you're going to go up that hill, I think Nicov, just save your gold. Build as many siege rams as you can. Maybe add some skirmishers to the right side there. It's the skirmisher only. Why not? If you're the Byzantines and you're against Meso, why not? Why not go skirmisher only? I am going to speed this game up for you guys. And for myself. Any rating here? Just a little bit. But if I think this game is going to go the other way, then I'm going to slow it down. But, oh, I don't know, actually. The populations are not at 200. 160 for Nicov, 170 for Laaaaan. Laaaaan has more pop. So Nikov's got to step up his production a bit, add some more production buildings. This is nice, though. These Husks are just doing work, man. Not enough pikemen. Pikemen are not even... They're not even that good against Hussar. I mean, think about it. Hussar's a tier 3 upgrade, an Imperial upgrade, Pikeman's Castle Age, of course. And there's GG. What a game. One of my favorite games that I've cast in a long time. Great game. Man, I hope you enjoyed it, too. Where can I download the Skirms Nothing map? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Was this played on his stream? I have no clue. You have to ask him yourself. Army count still in favor, Land, yeah. Oh, man. Excellent game. Wow. Really good one. Really good. I'm glad we got to illustrate that point that I mentioned earlier. The Byzantines, they have an okay time against the Mayans. And we saw the reason why. Cataphracts, cheaper skirmishers was big. That early advanced Imperial Age was big. The stronger castles could have even helped out. Helped out quite a bit. Really, really good matchup. Hope you enjoyed it.